This is Fear the Dark, a Lexi Cole Suspense Thriller, Book 1, written by Ava Strong, read by Scarlett. Prologue. Brianna Holt's key scraped against the lock with a metallic rasp that seemed to echo down the empty corridor of her apartment building. The door swung inward with a soft creak, and she stepped into the familiar embrace of her one-bedroom sanctuary situated on the outskirts of Summit Ridge, Vermont. The day had been relentless. A parade of potential buyers, each with their own quirks and indecisions, had left her feeling like an overwound clock ready to spring apart. The chill from outside clung stubbornly to her bones, but there was no time for indulgence in warmth. With brisk movements born of routine, Brianna shrugged off her winter coat, the heavy fabric whispering as it slid down her arms. She tossed it onto the back of a kitchen chair, the garment landing askew, one sleeve dangling like an exhausted limb. A draft from the still-ajar door nipped at her heels, prompting her to kick it closed with a dull thud. Her apartment, though modest, was meticulously organized, a testament to her disciplined nature. However, tonight, orderliness was the last thing on her mind. Brianna's steps were laden with fatigue as she made her way to the sofa, the cushions accepting her weight with a yielding sigh. She sank into the embrace of the worn upholstery, its familiarity a small comfort against the thrumming headache that had taken residence behind her eyes. Leaning back, she pressed a hand to her forehead, fingers splayed across her skin in a vain attempt to alleviate the pressure. Her breathing slowed, eyes fluttering shut as she allowed herself this brief respite, oblivious to anything beyond the confines of her throbbing skull. The room seemed to close in around her, the shadows deepening with the fading light as evening approached with stealthy certainty. This moment of vulnerability should have been hers alone, a fleeting chance to gather her strength before facing the demands of another day. But the tranquility was a fragile illusion, one that could be shattered as easily as glass under the right pressure, and the day's trials were far from over. For now, the silence held, save for the occasional creak of the building settling into night, and Brianna's shallow breaths that whispered through the quiet apartment. There was no dialogue to confront, no sensory trigger to alert her to anything amiss. Just the pulsing ache that promised no immediate relief, and the all-encompassing exhaustion that swaddled her thoughts. Desperation lingered close, a frequent visitor after days like these, when every sale felt like a battle and every failure a weight added to her shoulders. In the dimming light, the contours of her living space blurred, edges softening until they were indistinct. Much like the line between safety and danger, between the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?